Anxiety. Is it affecting the way you live your life from day to day? What exactly is this overwhelming feeling and emotion? But more importantly, how do we actually go about reducing it and fast? Hi, my name is Sam, and I really want to share with you a scientifically proven method that changed my life. And I hope it can change yours too, because I know how exactly debilitating life can be when anxiety takes over. But first, we must understand that anxiety is actually an essential part of our survival here on planet Earth. This feeling helps us on an everyday basis. For instance, take crossing the road. If you didn't have that slight unease of anxiety before crossing, you would actually probably step out onto oncoming traffic. So this anxiety tool, if you like, is very helpful, but only in small doses. However, for some of us, this tool that is actually meant to be working for us can actually end up working against us, stopping us from living our lives, and instead of focusing on things in life that actually matter, like our friends, family, we'll end up focusing all of our energy on these uneasy feelings. And that is when it becomes a real problem. But don't worry, because although you may feel alone, you're most definitely not. In fact, research shows that 1 in 5 people actually suffer from anxiety at some point in time in their life. Now, you may have one day felt this overwhelming feeling come over you. Maybe some type of worry, anxiety, triggered from a life event, or it may have even just popped up out of the blue. Whatever way it was, this overwhelming dose of anxiety is dictating the direction of your life, which can be obviously quite debilitating. But in order to reduce it, it does help if we go back in time to gather a better understanding of its nature. Now, I want you to imagine it's 3000 BC and you're a caveman. You're hungry and you just want to survive. You're walking through thick forest and the shrubs next to you start rustling. All of a sudden, you start to feel your heart thumping in your chest and your mouth becomes dry. Not knowing what to do next, you pause, and at your relief, a small boar emerges, so you chase him down and dinner is sorted. But what if instead, in fact, it wasn't a boar, but let's say a saber-toothed tiger? This is when your body would activate your flight or fight system, a system that generates a reaction throughout your body's nervous system that basically helps us to either, in this case, A, fight the lion, or B, flight, run as fast as we can in order to survive. So now cast your mind back to this present year. You're running late for a very important meeting, your heart begins pounding, your mouth starts running dry, and boom, your nervous system kicks in, just like our ancestors did when they were getting chased by saber-toothed tigers. You see, the problem is we still have this mechanism built in us. It's in our DNA, which in this day and age isn't as practical because these bursts of adrenaline can often link to things like panic attacks. So to summarize, our body can't really tell the difference between getting chased by a saber-toothed tiger or being late to a meeting. So as you can see, our flight or fight system can still be activated. However, we probably won't need to be using it as much in this day and age. Now you may be thinking, Sam, I understand it, but how do I actually go about reducing the stress, anxiety, and constant worry? Now thousands of studies have been done on this, and what the research showed is that just 10 minutes a day of mindfulness, also known as meditation, can drastically reduce anxiety, stress, worry, and as little as 10 sessions. Now you may have heard of meditation helping with things like anxiety, worries, but most of us won't actually go and devote 10 minutes of our busy schedules unless we really believe that it will work. So how does meditation or mindfulness reduce anxiety, stress, and worries? Well, the first way it works is it actually slows our breath down, which then tends to reduce the activity level in our mind and also reduce our heart rate, which, as you can imagine, naturally makes us feel a little bit more at ease. And the second way it works is it grounds you through your senses. Your brain can just do two things, either think, planning, worrying, etc., or sense, smell, touch, taste. Whenever you constantly think, your body's nervous system, flight or fight, is triggered. Because you're thinking, your body assumes it needs to spring into action sometime soon. On the other hand, when you sense, your body usually automatically relaxes. Why? Because since the mind isn't thinking and preparing, it assumes that everything must be okay and just tends to relax a little bit. Now, for most of us that have never done anything like this before, it may sound strange. Don't worry, I felt the same when I started, but a good friend of mine kept telling me that I'd benefit greatly, and here I am. But results won't come overnight. Think of it like a gym, but for your mind, except no sweat, and it only takes 10 minutes. After a few sessions, you may notice a change. It can't be explained, only experience. So what are you waiting for? Select the beginner's meditation and stop worrying and start living.